Welcome to the Kincrome Build Wars. In this series, I'm going to be building this Toyota 4Runner on a budget of $30,000 in a battle against 4 other YouTube channels that are also building cars within the same budget. Now, to make this even harder, we have set a date for a trip to Tasmania, which means not only do we have to build the cars well enough that they can take on some of the hardest tracks in Australia, but we also only have about 8 weeks to build them. This is just the beginning, and I'm going to bring you along for the whole journey. But to kick things off, we're going to go back to where it all started on the day we bought the car.
5 teams, 5 unique builds. We've gathered a bunch of our great mates to take on Tasmania's toughest terrain, testing their skills, their rigs, and their resilience. All in support of men's health this Movember. This is Kincrome Build Wars.
Righto, so we're down here in Castlemaine, me and Baz. We're here with Mark, and we think we've found the car. We've sealed the deal. We've shook hands, and we're about to load on the trailer.
I'm so happy.
I reckon Mark's excited too.
Oh yeah, I'm a little bit sad.
He's a bit sad, but give us a quick walk around. What is it?
This is first gen 4Runner.
Have a bloody look at it.
I think we need to keep this steering wheel, Millie. It goes fast, isn't it?
Low kilometres,
Yeah.
78,000 Ks. We got full service history, books over there, heap bits in the back.
Yeah. Just don't look too hard. But it looks good, doesn't it? What did you say, 40 years old? 40. It's pretty good for 40.
Motor obviously looks pretty good under the bonnet.
Yeah, oh, we better check. We better show them.
The big reveal. It's got, you've done engine swap and that in it, haven't you?
Mate,
You'll find out.
this is why it's so sad.
This, yeah, a few horsepower under here. Give us a look. What's under the hood? Open her up.
Wow!
There's no motor in it. There's actually there's no
potential.
There's potential. That's what's in there. Is
Exactly.
potential.
I see potential.
We're on a budget, and this falls into budget. Allows us to
Do what you need to do.
do what we need to do. So yeah. And but we've got a turbo, don't we?
Yep.
So we don't have a motor, but we've got a turbo.
So we're on.
We're on. Oh well, let's get this thing loaded up and let Mark go to work. Thank you very much.
The car was meant to come with a motor and gearbox, but we actually negotiated a deal and we ended up just taking the car and the turbo kit, and we got it for $2,550. Now, at this point, I didn't really know what I was getting myself into. The car was far from complete. The boot was full of parts and I had no idea what was missing, but on the positive side of things, at least the price was good. So the next step was to get it home and store it in a garage. This carport is where it then sat for a few months, hidden away until the build war actually started. The 1984 first-gen Toyota 4Runner. This car is a 4-wheel drive, solid axle front, and shares a lot of the same parts as the older Hiluxes. But the cool thing about this model is it's a 2-door wagon that has 5 seats and a removable roof, which means you can basically turn it into a ute with seats in the back. It's a bloody cool car and I can't wait to drive it, so let's get it in the shed and start pulling it apart.
That'll probably do. Alright, so I've got the car in here on the hoist now. The first plan is grab all the bits out of it, and see what it actually come with. So there's a few bits and pieces. That's obviously off the rear tailgate. There's a spare dash cluster, a steering wheel, some pedals. The car is sort of pretty complete. I think everything's here that I need. Just some of the interior was pulled apart. I think what was going on is they were doing an auto conversion in it. So pretty much everything to do with swapping the auto is it's all apart here, but the rest of it is all pretty well together. In the back here, there is a few bits and pieces. There's tail shafts and I don't know, there's all kinds of stuff in there. We couldn't actually really see it all when we bought it. The reason why we couldn't see it is because this here is an electric window and we couldn't get it to go down because it's got to have power to go down. It had no way to power it up. Car doesn't have battery, and now I've discovered it doesn't even have the switch, which is in the center console. It's not even plugged in. I can't even find the bit of wire, and I'm like, that's probably in the back here somewhere too. So I've been in there and I've had a bit of a look, and they've actually dummied up a wire which is going into the plug of the motor that runs that electric window. So I'm hoping I can actually get it to go up and down. I'm gonna find out in a second. Right, I've got a little battery here. Oh, I'm gonna put that on there, and then get this wire. That's not doing anything. This battery could be cooked. Right, I've resorted to a Kincrome battery. You probably shouldn't do this, but they actually have which one's positive and negative written on them, and that there is 2 split pins because I'm gonna need them. Oh, it moved. Oh, it's going down. Good old Kincrome battery. Not just for running your rattle gun. I actually have a Kincrome jump pack, but it's in Dave at the moment. Can't complain because it works. Oh, look at that. Actually looks like nice and new in here. Considering the car's from the 1980s, this mechanism looks like brand new. Got a big tub here, spare tail light. They've welded a spanner to the gear stick to change gears. Unbelievable. The things you find in a marketplace car. Oh, new gasket, 3 cylinders. Now I'm confused. That's a straight 6 gasket. Radiator hose. Someone's been eating Pringles. Oh, that'll save me having to make an airbox. There's a few little bits and pieces in here, little switches, rubber bungs. Well, there's a cup of coffee, but it's got screws in it out of something. I think that's about it. There's a couple of things on the back seats, just on the floor there, and there's a few other little bits and pieces in the front of the car. I'm gonna go and give this a good vacuum out and clean it all up. Then I'm gonna actually go sort through all this stuff off camera, find out what bits I need, start having a bit of a look under the bonnet, and then we might get stuck into putting it up in the air and having a look underneath.
All right, that's enough mucking around. It's time to get into some serious mods. Something that I've always wanted to do is put Land Cruiser axles under a Hilux. Now, this isn't a Hilux, but it's pretty similar, and when the opportunity come up to do Build Wars, this was the first thing that come into my mind. I actually bought everything to do the conversion a couple of years ago, and it's been sitting around the yard at emu waiting for this very moment. So the first thing I'm gonna do is rip the old axles out and start working out how to put the new ones under. Took a day off and went for a drive to Emu. There was a few things laying around that I probably didn't need, but I brought it all back anyway, just in case.
Righto, I got Ben here today with me.
Howdy, howdy.
We are gonna put these diffs, well, we're not gonna put them in the car, but we're gonna start playing around with them to get them ready to put in the car. So I got 105 series axles here, which I've picked up from Emu. Bought these a while ago. I'll run you through it later. Yeah, I've had them sitting around for wanting to use them for a project. And this is the project. This is gonna take us a while, but we're gonna unbolt everything off them and we're gonna use the plasma cutter to cut all the mounts off. And then we're basically gonna weld some leaf mounts on them, bolt them on the car. What do you reckon, Ben?
Great idea.
Sounds good. Righto, well, let's get stuck into it.
With the help of a rattle gun, stripping the diffs doesn't take us long. The plan is I'm going to cut all the brackets off with the plasma cutter, and Ben is going to grind the remaining welds back until we're left with 2 bare housings.
Hey! I told Ben it was a budget build challenge, and I think he's taking a bit too far.
You've got to spare every bit of money you can.
Mate, there's still more in that. We're no wastage around here, mate.
Come back in 5.
As we continued cutting and grinding off mounts, the process certainly didn't get any quicker, but eventually it was time to move on to the next step.
Right, so Ben's out here, grinding away. Ben's out here grinding away, getting the last of the welds off. He's got one housing already done. I just finished cutting all the brackets off that one, and he's just grinding off the welds.
Could have taken a bit of oil off for me. Like, you left it bad.
Oh, I didn't want to cut a hole in the diff.
We're going to run out of grinding disc in Australia.
No, we got plenty, mate. Don't worry about that. While Ben's doing that, I'm having a look under here, starting to have a look at this steering box. This is going to be probably one of the main hurdles of this whole conversion. Standard steering setup on these 4Runners and also the Hiluxes, even the later models, so Frank as well, they have a push-pull steering setup. So basically, how that works, this is your drag link here, and that's your pitman arm. The arm, you'll notice it's running that way. The steering comes out of the steering wheel, down into your steering box, and then this arm goes back and forth and pushes and pulls on this, which turns the wheels. Over here on Baz, we've got a steering box here. This is a little bit different. You'll notice that instead of the pitman arm pointing down, it's actually that way. The steering rod is going all the way over to the other side. Basically, the crossover steering in this is a factory Land Cruiser style, same as 79, 105, 80 series, Patrols. They all run this style, but these older Hiluxes and 4Runners run the push-pull steering. You notice you got this thing here. Now this is a torque rod. The reason why they have the torque rod is because what happens, it's a pretty crap design really, but this diff housing got a bit of movement in it. It can rotate on these springs. So when you jump on the brakes and the front of the car goes down, the springs actually rotate the diff. Like everything just moves back and forth, not heaps, but a little bit. Now what happens is, because it rolls, it actually pushes the steering forward. What that torque rod does is that actually holds the diff to the chassis and just stops it twisting. It doesn't stop it fully because obviously it's rubber bushed, but it slows it up and it doesn't twist as much, which means your steering wheel doesn't turn and your wheels don't try and turn when you're braking. With your crossover steering, like the Land Cruisers and that come with, you don't actually have that problem. Like you don't really have that problem at all. So what I'm going to be doing on this build, because I'm using the steering that actually comes on the Land Cruiser diff, so all of the knuckles, all of everything, I'm going to be retaining the Land Cruiser steering, and I'm going to be using a Land Cruiser steering box on here, and then the only custom part is going to be the actual drag link, which is going to connect it to it. So it's a little bit tricky because of the leaf springs, but check with my engineer. There's nothing that is a drama with that. It's been done plenty of times before. So I've got to use the right materials, the right kind of ends, to meet the standards to make it road legal, but as long as it all clears and works and doesn't run into anything under flex and droop, I'm able to do that. Now the only obstacle with this is actually mounting the steering box to the chassis rail. The chassis rail is very small. You see this steering box is only held on with those two little bolts. There's a couple up the top as well. Now with the Land Cruiser box that I'm going to be bolting on here, it's much bigger than this. It's going to be a very good upgrade. But there's actually, the chassis rail is basically too small to even accept it. So what I'm gonna have to do is make up some kind of fish plate that gets welded onto the chassis, and I'm gonna have to cross tube the bottom two bolts, and then the top two bolts will be up on a bit of plate that is a custom sort of thing. Now I spoke to my engineer about it, and basically we come to agreement that I'm gonna go 3D scan this. I'm gonna design something on CAD, send it to them, get their approval before I do it, and they're just gonna go, yep, that looks good, if they think that it's good. And then I'm gonna go weld it on there and bolt it up. And other than that, most of the rest of the diff swap is straightforward. I've just got to make up some spring perches, weld them on for leaf springs to sit on. I'm gonna start having to play with this steering box while Ben's finishing off those. I'm gonna get it unbolted, take it off there, and just sort of have it ready to be 3D scanned. It's time to pull these old diffs out. Got Corey's just turned up. You may remember him from such films as Otways. And yeah, Ben's still here, but yeah, we're about to lift her up. Go for it, hit the button.
The 105 diffs are 200mm wider than the 4Runners. Prior to this, I'd done a lot of measuring and I know it's going to work, but I am very excited to see how this is going to look in real life.
Far out. What do you reckon?
Stop.
I think we're going to need bigger flares.
Just a little bit.
That is exactly what I wanted it to look like.
Can we put the traps on now?
All right, so we got the wheels sitting under it there last night for the first sort of look, and it looks bloody cool. These aren't actually the wheels that are going on it. These are the wheels off my Gold Ute. They're actually going to go on Jesso's car at some point. Thought I'd put them on there so get a bit of a look at how 35 looks under it and what sort of clearance and stuff is going on. So the next sort of plan is I have to actually get these diffs bolted under properly. They're just sort of sitting there. The hoist is kind of holding most of the weight. I need to make up some of these spring perches for it. So the plan is going to draw them up on CAD, going to jump in Frank, go for a drive out to a mate's joint, and he'll hopefully plasma cut them out and fold them for me. I think Ben's coming back in today to give me another hand, but I'm going to try and hopefully get these drawn up before he gets here. But I might actually set a camera up and just show you quickly. People always ask about CAD and drawing and what program I use and all that, so I'll just give you a real quick look at it. Now I'm just going to do a very rough sketch of the bracket, something like that. Do the axle diameter as well. Coming over to the diff, 60mm wide, 135 long. Just using my verniers as a straight edge to work out the height of it. The actual tube itself, it's like about 80. Oh, should be all I need. This is the shed laptop, so it's just a little MacBook Air. This thing here is not required, but it's a 3D mouse. You can grab like this little box up here and you can use that to pan around, or you can click these buttons and you can sort of use your mouse to pan around, and that's fine, that works. But this here is just, yeah, it's so much better. This program that I'm using here is Fusion 360. It's quite expensive. A lot of people, if they have someone in their family that goes to uni or school or something, they can get access to it for free or cheap. But unfortunately, people like me have to pay, and it's expensive. Start by making a sketch, 60mm wide by 135 long. Now I'm going to go and turn this drawing into a bit of sheet metal. So I'm just going to use the sheet metal tool. So I'll go 5mm steel, make that 80mm. We're going to pretend this is the axle. Because this is a bit of sheet metal within the program, I have the option to make flanges on it and put folds and bends and stuff. So I've selected the two sides and I'm going to add a flange to them. I have the option to make my bends inside the measurement. So if this was 60mm wide and I have inside selected and I've bent it around, it's still exactly 60mm wide. If I make it the outside measurement, it goes 60 plus the bend. So now it's probably like, I don't know, 70mm wide. I'm gonna go the inside one because we want it to be 60mm. I'm gonna grab this sketch, I'm gonna pull it through this. Now you'll notice it automatically goes to cut, which is what I want. Hit that, there we go. Turn that off. That's cut the shape out for me. I can select that and that, and same thing. We can just cut that off like that. Camera went flat, we're on the first person view now, probably better anyway. Got my holes cut in there. You got your center hole as per standard. The actual factory mount on one side has 3 holes in it and it looks exactly like this anyway, but I've actually put that extra hole there. It's 35mm backwards. It's very commonly used to do a diff push. So what I've done is I've just put that hole in there anyway, just cause. Click this create flat pattern tool up here. Then it asks you to select a face, and then there it is. From here, what you can do is you can export this as a DXF, which is just a line which a laser cutter, plasma cutter can follow. Matt, that does a little bit of stuff for me down here in Geelong, he uses Fusion 360 as well, so I can just actually send him my Fusion file. He can open up all this on his computer and he can do it however he wants, kind of thing. I'm gonna go and measure up the rear diff, see if this bracket is gonna work for it as well, and hopefully it does. Got to knock these mounts off. They're only tacked in, which is handy because we don't need them. And I'm actually going to draw up some right angle fish plates to go on this chassis here, which I'm going to use to mount my motor on it. Whoa! So we're just out here at Matty's, and he's going to plasma cut us out some leaf hanger mounts. I've got Ben here with me now. Matt gets to work straight away cutting out the leaf perches. Parts are then cleared of any burrs and taken over to the press for folding. We've upgraded a bit. Last time I was here, the press was in the paddock over there. He's shifted it to the workshop. Looks straight to me. Good to see you at least using a square for that bit.
You won't see it under the car, mate.
And just like that, my crappy sketch in a notebook is now a reality. Beautiful.
Same day delivery, mate.
Oh, we're here. We'll just have a look at Matt's car.
Can we borrow these for the 4Runner? What's he got? 40s. 40 by 13 and a half.
Brand new. Still got the stickers on it. So what are you building here?
Short waist 40 with an extended wheelbase, 80 chassis, obviously shortened, and 5 litre manual.
Running in 2 weeks.
Running in about 2 weeks. Yeah.
Keen to see it. Whoa, just a quick one. I actually just wanted to show you this before I get back into it. Obviously, Kincrome is a major part of this build and it wouldn't be possible without them. And I've just had these new ratchets turn up from Kincrome. Now these ratchets are pretty cool. There is 31 new styles coming out in them and these are just a few of them. You've got the rubber gripped handle, you've got the full steel handle, and then they're also in a 120 teeth ratchet or a 90 teeth ratchet. So you've got the option there, which is super fine for those hard to get areas. But also what's really cool is Kincrome have brought out these little stubby ones. If you want to find out any more about these, I will put a link in the description of the video. Go check it out. These are really cool, so pretty keen to try them out. Back to the shed, it was now time to tack these mounts on and set the angles. The front diff, I did have to notch them out a little bit more due to its rectangular shape. It's important that these are set at the correct angle. This can't be adjusted later and it's what sets the caster and can affect the steering and drive shaft angles. The diffs are then cleaned with wax and grease remover before applying paint.
Whoa, what are you doing, mate?
Oh, just painting them, mate.
Oh.
What's that?
Oh, just questioning.
Oh. What do you got under there for me?
Oh, I got a present.
Oh, is that a Toyota 4Runner diff center? Just pulled down the front of Baz and we are stealing the diff centers out of Baz. Since building these diffs, I've sort of changed my mind on what kind of ratios and stuff I want to run. I'll put these ones in the 4Runner and then I'll just build 2 new ones for Baz. So these ones have got Harrop E-lockers in them and 488 gears. So we'll put the Harrops and the 4.8s into this big girl and I'll, build a couple more centers for this one in my spare time, which I don't have any of. How's your mic going there, Ben?
She's good, mate. Charged by Kincrome, it's the best.
Ben's one was flat, so I've plugged it in and hooked him up to the charger. So, a little bit of an update. We have got the diffs sitting under the car, and it's looking pretty good. They're not all fully bolted up yet, but found a couple of U-bolts chucked around that one there. We didn't have any long enough for that one, so we've just ordered some for that. And the shock's actually holding it in place so we can go up and down on the hoist, we can do whatever we need. Original U-bolts didn't fit, so I actually used a U-bolt flip kit, which was for Dave that Mac brought down with him, and that worked well. The bump stops still got to sort out, and the shock mounts, because the shock mounts are originally on the plates which go on the bottom. We no longer have shock mounts, so going to have to do something custom there, which is all right. Worry about that later.
It's been a project so far, I'll tell you that.
It's sitting up nice and high now. This is basically full droop. Like if I was to put the hoist under there now and lift it up, the wheels would hardly go down. This isn't how the car is going to sit. It's got no motor or anything in it, but it looks pretty wild, doesn't it?
Oh, she's a big girl.
We've just gone and put a body lift in it. So these are 2-inch body lift. So we just whizzed around, undone all the mounts, lifted it up and banged that in there. Now the reason that we've done a body lift is because it's going to be a little bit easier for us to actually fit the gearbox and everything in this tunnel. The H-Series gearbox that we're putting in this is like twice the size of the one that come out. So we're still going to have to cut the floor, but I thought it was going to be impossible. I don't actually think it would have fitted between the seats, you reckon?
No way.
Like even if we had made the tunnel bigger, like it was, it's just too big. So body lift's in there. Engineer has said that it's all sweet, just can't go over any more than 50 mil. And obviously suspension lift, we've got to get it back down more towards the sort of standard height or a 2-inch lift. Ben's got the diff centers out here, ready to go back in. And we've also pinched the locking hubs off Baz because we've got to convert that one. It's got the fixed plates on it. Thanks, Baz. Ben just reminded me that we actually worked on my ute for half of today. Have a look at that. Just put a roof light bar on it today because I've been missing not having any lights on the front. I've always had light bars or driving lights and
because of the new winch, obviously can't have them. So yeah, I've got a steady light bar on there. It was a little bit fiddly to get on there with the 2 snorkels, and it is running very close to the roof on them corners. It should have been forward more, but we couldn't because of snorkels. So enough of the gold ute, back to the real car.
Yeah, let's go.
Alright, so this is the exciting part. I've chosen to power the car with an LS1 engine, and I've found one literally just around the corner. Now, I know the bloke, and he's an auto elec, and he said that I could have it for $3,000 with a loom and the ECU standalone. But there's a catch. I have to put it all together, and it may need a set of lifters. Another bargain that I've got is Ben's LS adapter. Now, Ben actually had an LS swapped cruiser, which he rolled and parted out. He sold everything but the adapter, which was laying on his shed floor and missing some of the bolts. He said it owes him about $800 and he wanted to give it to me for nothing, but I ended up paying him $200. What a bargain. Now also, this H151 gearbox come from emu. It was out of my dad's FTE and it owes me $600.
Motor's in. Sweet. We'll put some fuel in it and hit the key, eh?
Oh, yeah. It needs oil.
It's going to be a bit of a tight fit, you reckon?
It's a bit of a massage with a hole.
Yeah, a bit of massage with an angle grinder. Gear stick lines up perfect. We've just got to, obviously it's going to come back a bit further, so hopefully that should work.
While the cameras weren't rolling, Matt come around with his 3D scanner and scanned the chassis for me. I then used this data to design a crossmember to hold the gearbox and motor in place. He also scanned the front end and the 79 steering box for me. And with that, I was able to design a mounting setup for the steering box and send it off to my engineer for approval. Another thing that I had to design was a winch cradle, which I will use to build a simple tube bar later on. Once I got the all clear from my engineer, it was time to go back to Matt's for another plasma session.
Oh, the fitment.
Oh, he's got it first go.
Fitment first go. The touch.
No fancy angle gauges on this machine, eh?
Oh.
I'm touched by sorrow, for they have taken off to avoid the toil that others live below, to beg and borrow, beg and borrow. Elysium descend upon her palace paradise.
Alright, so I've got the gearbox all mounted up. This actually come up pretty good. Nylon box under here where it bolts between the crossmember and the chassis. Factory chassis bolts there and the factory gearbox mount here. So even got the new factory genuine Toyota nuts to hold it all together. And yeah, next thing need to do is try a transfer case on here and see if it all fits and clears, and then measure up some tail shaft lengths because I'm going to have to get some custom shafts made up. Once I've got that measurement, we can sort of pull it all apart, start doing some more engine work and get the clutch in it and get everything else done. Mounts all welded out properly. I don't know if I showed these, but my engine mounts up there. There's basically a plate, which it's actually folded, goes over the top of the chassis rail, and then I've got this U piece. They're actually adapting onto some old rod shop mounts that I had, and that bit of tubing there is actually a extra heavy 40 NB. And old Ben down here, he's got a few goodies. This is a brand new, genuine Toyota transfer case, straight out of the box. And guess where I got that from? Have a guess. I did. Spares box actually stock. Mind you, when I'd done the gold ute, I didn't realise this, but I found out afterwards because they told me. Spares box actually stock brand new gearboxes and transfer cases. So if you know the part number, you can search it up and they are on there. They are one of the biggest suppliers in Australia apparently. This isn't for the 4Runner. This is actually for the pub truck. So the plan is I rebuilt my transfer case in the pub truck. I put a brand new motor and a brand new gearbox and everything, and I was a little bit sad that I didn't put just a brand new transfer like one of these in. Since getting this project on the go, I have needed a transfer. So I thought, why don't I just get one of these spares box ones for the Gold Ute. The rebuilt one is going to go into this. So me and Ben are going to lift this up. We're going to bolt it on there, measure some tail shaft if it fits, hopefully. I won't speak too soon. And yeah, let's see.
Ah, damn.
We have a problem. We are hitting there. Anyway, we might just pop it off. We'll sit it back down and we'll get some rulers and have a measure.
With a bit of a notch out where the transfer goes, hopefully this fixes the problem.
For anyone watching at home, the Amy Customs is still there. I'm just not going to show you. I didn't just cut through it with the angle grinder. We're Timu Customs now. Good. And it cleared. Didn't before. You should have been here before. The rear center's in there now. Ben is stripping down the hubs. We're going to see if we can clean up these wheel bearings, hopefully repack them and put them back in. That might save us a few dollars on the budget, eh, Ben? And Ben loves washing out wheel bearings. He actually said before how much he loved it.
Oh, jumping.
Yeah, look at him. He's jumping with excitement to do it. And while Ben's doing that, I am going to do the same on the front center. I don't know what that one is. So I'm going to rip that out, rip all this apart, all the CVs and everything out. These brake discs have got a fair bit of meat left on them. They look pretty old and rusty.
The plan is to reuse as many parts as I can and replace the bearings only if necessary. Everything will be cleaned and inspected and put back together with fresh grease, new seals and gaskets. I am going to put a swivel hub kit through this, and most of these parts I do keep on my spares box shelf. But because this car is supposed to be built on a budget of $30,000, I want to include as many costs as I can. For example, I bought these diffs off Marketplace 3 years ago for $1,000. I've taken the centers out and everything else that was bolted to them, including a set of wheels. So let's just say the housings probably owe me around $500. The car was a starting price of $2,550. I actually sold the turbo kit on Marketplace for $600, which means the car only cost me $1,950. Now the motor, ECU and loom was $3,000, the adapter was $200, my old man's second-hand gearbox was $600, and the transfer case is a bit of a tricky one, but let's use the old rebuilt one and call it $1,000. Bringing the total for this episode to $7,250. If you've enjoyed this episode, make sure you give the video a like and leave me a comment. If you want to see more of this, make sure you also subscribe. Next up, we have Richo's build. I'm very keen to see this one, and it'll be live on his channel tomorrow night. Go check that one out if you want to see what he's been up to, and follow the whole series to see how everyone does things differently. Fwah!